Hello, JD Grosspitz here, lead singer and streaming talent of Malignant Bear, and today we're coming at you with a quick look at the game Crying Suns. This is a tactical roguelike in space, in the same vein as FTL. This game is definitely a spiritual successor to that, and we're checking this out on the recommendation of Konstantin, one of our Keytar players. We've seen him in a couple videos and streams thus far. He recommended this game to me, and I'm really glad he did because I've been enjoying it. So in the same vein as FTL, you play as a spaceship and a crew and everything, and you're traveling through space, detecting anomalies and checking things out and fleeing from enemies and trying to get through the sector and win the game. It's a little different than FTL, and we'll see what some of the changes are, but it's very similar and it's very good. But it's different enough to stand on its own, and I would definitely recommend it to people who enjoyed FTL. So we're starting off with a fresh run here, and again, it's a roguelike, so whenever you die, you can just start a fresh run. And you can see here we have our galaxy map, again, very similar to FTL. We've got some nice sci-fi in the background, some very kind of ominous sci-fi music going on, which is excellent. We have a nice pixel aesthetic here, you can see. There's our ship's computer, there's us, the captain, and two of our officers. Every time when you start out, you get to pick whatever ship you're going to use, and your starting officers, and your officers have different bonuses and things that they can confer upon various aspects of your ship, whether it's in combat, or in ground missions, or in things like that, and we'll see what those look like. So you have some resources here, you have your fuel, obviously. Scrap is just money, and commandos are your units that you'll use in ground combat. Of course, we start here, and we can pick whatever system we want to go to. It looks like it's going to cost 1 fuel to go to any of them, and we'll go up here. So we'll move up there. Get a nice little warp thing there. Pirate ship, uh-oh. So as you travel around, you're going to get little mission prompts like this. Again, very similar to FTL. This game is much more story-driven than FTL is, for sure. There's a lot more lore and background things and everything going on, and that is what is guiding you. It's a little generic, but I think it's well written for what it is. It's interesting enough to keep you engaged and keep you wanting to play. So, incoming message from the pirates. Admiral, don't attack, at least not yet. I know it's going to be hard for you to believe me. The whole Imperial-pirate relationship is a pretty complicated one, I know, but I'm trying to mutiny on this ship. Got a favor to ask. If you can attack the ship, it would distract Captain Strobe and really help me and mine pull this thing off. Will you help me or not? Ask why you should help. Why should I help? So you always play as Ellis, Idaho, and every time you die, he gets cloned again. So the story is there's a big galactic empire, and you're in the far reaches of it in a cloning facility, and for some reason, the core of the empire hasn't contacted you in a long time. So the AI wakes you up, and you come out, and you realize that things are not going well, and they probably haven't been for about 20 years. So, nothing wrong with Captain Strobe, really. I just think it's time I take control. Maybe I'm just bored. Look, I'm not going to stand here and lie to you. If I'm captain of the ship, we're still going to steal and pillage. That's just who we are. Maybe I can appeal to you in another way. We've been pretty successful at what we do, which is, robbing. Scratch our backs, and there could be a little something in it for you and your crew from our treasure piles. Can you help me or not? So whenever you get into events, sometimes it's just straight in a battle, against pirates or aliens or what have you. Other times you do get choices, and sometimes you can see we don't have the condition met for whatever this option is. We'll help them. We'll attack the battleship so we can see some combat. Battle station's crew. Gonna attack me, are you? Well, I got my hands full, but I can still whoop an Imperial. Oh, okay. Thanks, Admiral. With your help, we were able to wrest control of the ship away from Strobe. Now I'm the captain of this here pirate vessel. Now, about that reward I promised you. Maybe I'm having second thoughts? Just kidding, Admiral. Wow, you should have seen the look on your face. That's so that I can help you. So we even get a choice of rewards. I'm disappointed there was no actual combat there, but we'll see that in a little bit. So again, sometimes events just sort of play out, and then sometimes you get to actually engage with them a little bit more in actual combat. We'll go with scrap, though. Scrap is pretty useful. Scrap would really help us out. Got a lot of that. It's yours. Excellent. 57 scrap. So long, Admiral. Who knows? Maybe we'll see you around. Pirates, are generally worthless, but that one was slightly less worthless. Right? So anytime we come across these cubes, which is always the first thing you find in a sector, you can scavenge Neon N, which is your fuel. And so here we get to pick where our officers go. So we have 2 of them right now. So we want to go with 1 there, and both of these officers actually boost our squadrons, which is right here, but we can't put 2 officers on it yet until we go into ship upgrades, which is what I wanted the scrap for. So you can see here, there's all different things that you can do with your ships. You can improve your squadrons, which we have there. So let's see, we want another squadron support eventually, although that's going to cost all of our scrap. You can upgrade your subsystems, which would be good. Increase your hull, which is good for combat, of course, and your weapons. So you have squadrons and weapons by default in this game. Again, similar to FTL, this game is much more reliant on the squadrons than the weapons, though. FTL was very heavy on weapons. You better have some good ones. Squadrons were just kind of around. This is the reverse of that, and we'll see that when we actually get into combat. We won't spend any of our resources right now. We'll scavenge some fuel, see what we get. Only 1, so not very lucky. Powers down that cube. Alright, so we can move on if we want to. So we could, jump ahead. Obviously, we can like go to places that we can jump to. But instead, we will check out the local system map, which is up there. And so you can see other things that we might run into. So let's go to... This one's an anomaly. So we'll teleport there. And again, totally random every single time. Scrapper battleship, 12 o'clock. Big tech and new, I've been dreaming of this. Prepare to fight, here we go. So here is our tactical battle map. Automatically pauses when you get in, which is good. And so what you can do is you can choose which squadrons you're going to pick and choose and have going on. So you start off with a little bit here. And the squadrons, they go off sort of a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. Fighters can beat drones, which can beat frigates, which can beat fighters. So you need to think about what you're going to deploy. You can see what your enemy is going to put out. So he is going to put out a fighter, so I definitely want to make sure that I have my frigate. Okay, I already do. And we'll just put a fighter as well. And our weapons are going to charge up slowly, and our squadrons will charge up too, and we can choose where we want them to go whenever they actually spawn in. So we'll put them there. You have a limited area they can go into. They have the same thing. And we'll go ahead and start it off. So you can see here, bars ticking down, our squadrons are coming out. Now that they're actually out, we can pause again and control them, or you can do it fully in real time if you want to. But I'm going to send both of them to attack him, and he's going to be moving the whole time, so this will shift a little bit depending on what happens. There's some other stuff here on the map. There's a defense turret in this map, which is cool. There's asteroids, of course. Squadrons will go a little slower if you go through them, or you can destroy them. And so our goal is to destroy his ship. We do that by attacking the various sections here. So for example, you're fighting an enemy that has very strong weapons. You probably want to attack that first and do damage to that to knock it out, and then eventually you'll take out the hull entirely, or again, squadrons. Or if you just want to go straight for the hull, you can do extra damage to it that way. So our ships are going to move. He's moving down there. He's trying to take that, which is probably pretty smart for him. But he's a little wounded, so you can see the battle goes on there. And once you move things around, you don't have a lot of control over it. Again, it's just your squadrons, they're going to go and do what they do. Obviously, I have some hotkeys here, so we're going to wait for our weapon to charge. Weapon is ready to fire. We're taking damage, but we're going to attack his squadron so he can't get any more out. Or we can attack his fighters directly. So, we shot him. And you can see we get a victory for there. The very easy battle. We're very early on in the game, of course. So we get a reward. We get a new type of drone. Hit continue. His ship explodes. We saw what the anomaly was, of course. And down it goes. Again, very stylistic with the pixels and everything. It certainly fits the aesthetic they're going for. We'll check out this station, though, next. Dealt with that threat and see what this one is. Scrapper's ship, sir. Looks abandoned, but I'm picking up a scanner. Meta lens to upgrade. Oh, they leave that behind. Some radiated scum probably didn't see an advantage taking it with them. It's ours now. Alright, so a freebie. We get some scrap and a new navigation scanner, which is cool. So you can see that in our upgrades here. So it automatically upgraded that for us. And since we're here at this this station, it's the Army Depot, we can visit the shop and buy some new things if we want to. So we could get more commandos, get more fuel, have some more upgrades, or some squadrons, some different weapons. All these things would be good. But we have enough scrap now that I can get this without it feeling like a complete waste. So move her up there. So now our squadrons, all of them, are going to be faster and stronger. So you can see our officers here, they have different classes, different skills, and different health levels, and that's going to play into the ground missions. So hopefully we can find one of those here. Sir, an escape pod among civilian ship debris. I'm glad to see you. Long story short, my vessel was destroyed by a scrapper battleship. Managed to escape in the pod, but I'm afraid the rest of the crew weren't so fortunate. Hunt those scrappers down if it's the last thing I do in these Omni-forsaken sectors. Sorry for your loss. We've run into scrappers too. Alright. So, we can choose to abandon them or help them. Let's let them on the ship. Why not? Welcome the stranger. What do you want me to do? Give him flowers or something? Just be your charming self. So because all of us are clones, all of our NPCs that are talking, you know, Captain Lean and Officer Lynch and everything, they're going to be the same every single time. So, welcome the stranger onto the ship. Can't be 100% sure without tests, but I think you'll be pleased with our newest crew member. So, looks like we got a new officer, and they're good at hull repair. Excellent. So we can put them to work right away. We've done everything in this system, so we can move on in the star map. Alright, so if we wanted to be bold, we could go back and then try something new, but of course we'll just go straight on ahead. And you can see the enemy is chasing us. That little red thing was ticking down, so you don't want to go back. Another anomaly. You had company. So you thought you destroyed all the ships you possibly could. Another beauty enters your world. Them's fighting words. Alright, so same thing here. To make sure that we get our ships out, although what's he have? Drones, alright. That's totally fine. Let's see where they deploy, though. And what we want to do, he doesn't have weapons at all, we can see that right from there. And different alien types will have different things that they do. Different specialties on their ships and all that, so you want to keep that in mind anytime you're fighting someone. So there's some variety in this, again, just like FTL, there's different factions and things you have to think about. Again, early on, so we're doing good. Easy fights, got some scrap. Scavenge away. Ooh, all three, very lucky. Alright, check out the local system. So, Planetary Mission, this is good, this is what I wanted to see. Because this is the other thing in this game, so we've seen some random events that are, you know, text-based, decision-based, almost visual novel. Pre-shutdown message on this pirate beacon. It's very colorful. Want to become a better pirate but not sure? Tune in later this week for discussion with Pro Bonnie Adder for tips and advice. Alright, so here we have a planetary mission. So this is one of the other things that this game does. So we can prepare our mission, scan the planet, see what's here. So this tells us what artifacts there might be, what threats there are. And we want to choose one of our officers that's going to lead this mission. And so whenever you choose that, that's when their skills and stats come into play. So you can see here whether or not they're going to return safely. So for example, this one has a chance to be injured, but they're going to be very good at extracting resources. But I might lose a lot of my commandos. This one, not a whole lot of resources, but no losses, and they will return safely. This one, probably my best bet. So they're going to return safely, middling amount of resources, but I won't lose anybody. So we will pick them. You can choose how many commandos you want to send. We'll just go ahead and do all 10 of them. That's totally fine. And so your commandos can die, but of course, as you saw in the shop, we can get more and send them off to do things. Let's go ahead and launch this expedition. And this is probably my one major gripe of the game, is the expedition system. Beyond that screen, these just play themselves. That's it. So you get little snippets of what's happening, so we didn't find anything. They're getting some minor resources. They're not dealing with any danger. This was a very easy one, a very boring one. So, sometimes you get the chance to extract them early if you think it's too dangerous, you've lost too many troops, or you're just not getting anything good. No reason to not just keep going here. No danger at all. Didn't get a whole lot of anything, but so as these missions go on, you'll see your troops die. But again, you can always buy more with scrap if you need to. So, expedition complete. Got some nice rewards. We're ready to go somewhere else. So, one last thing here would be the shipyard. Let's see what we got. Incoming message. An Imperial ship. We don't get many of those our way these days at the clinic. What can I do for you, Admiral? Ask more about the clinic. Tell me about the station. Before the shutdown, this was a hospital where we treated patients with all kinds of mental problems. Omni-inferiority complex is probably being our bread and butter. Omni-envy, a serious problem for citizens of the Empire. That was then. Now the clinic is little more than a refuge for a few of us human doctors and our families. It's not much, but we call it home. Admiral, if I might, this could be a good chance to help the officers and crew with some of their problems. Problems? Sir, some of the crew are starting to worry that their emotionally linked memories are never going to come back. Talking with a shrink, a psychiatrist, I mean, could do them some good. So we can continue on? Say our crew doesn't need help, or ask the doctor for help. Doctor, some of my crew members are having difficulties. Pressed over the shutdown, I take it. More like fatigued from trying to restore the Emperor's sectors to their former state. I see, that would wear a person down. We'll be happy to do what we can, Admiral. It'll be like the old days again. Of course, we'll need scrap for the job. I'm afraid our days of pro bono work are on hold for the moment. So, we will pay a medium amount of scrap. Happy to pay for your help. Send your crew when ready, and just let you know we have a plasma nuke aimed at your battleship. Try anything funny and we'll make you bleed. Tough lady, I like that. Done all I can. Gonna be honest with you, I'm disturbed by these sessions. Crew members are almost entirely incapable of recalling their most important personal memories, but more troubling than their memory loss are their severe delusions. Claim to recall dying. Claim to recall dying over and over again. Any explanation for this, Admiral? Anything that might shed some light on this peculiar situation? Yes, we are in a roguelike. Alright. So that would have healed our officers had they actually taken damage, but we've been lucky so far. Go back to the star map and see. Sometimes you'll find events that are little quests, and they'll tell you to go to very specific places to do things. So you kind of want to plan that out. So you can, again, see in advance what you might be running up against, or what you might want to get to. Go here. Do one final jump and check out this sector. Another thing this game does that's a little weird is that, so you see the map is split into sectors, then when you get to the end, the final thing, you'll get into like the next chapter or whatever, or not the next chapter, the next section of this chapter. And your upgrades and things carry over and all that. But once you finish a chapter, it's a fresh start in a new one, which is a little odd. So you'll have all your upgrades and stuff on your ship, and then you get to chapter 2, and then they're gone. Which feels a little crummy. It means there's a lot of content in the game, and runs can take a while then because of that. But it's a little weird to almost have like a roguelike within a roguelike, where you're essentially losing everything, despite winning. Try to keep this short. We're transporting a Xeno. There's a collector around here. Probably guessed it, but we got loose, and thanks to that no-good captain who triggered before jumping the ship, we also have an activated self-destruction countdown. So you can learn a little lore about the game. The Xeno. Xeno's any indigenous unmodified species. This one here is an alpha predator, a Ronkar, female. I think even a team of elite soldiers might have a tough time handling her. Blade Omnis used to keep them in check back in the day, but now they're gone, so what are we thinking, bringing her on the ship? We can be rude, push on, we can't help everybody. We won't endanger the lives of this crew helping a ship of smugglers, come on. Better things to do than help a ship of civilians, you should be ashamed of yourself. No regrets. Maybe a little bit of regrets. Could have gotten aliens, that would have been cool. But yeah, this is the crux of this game, is going around within the sectors and then within the systems, seeing these things and checking them out. This is good. This very much scratches that FTL itch. You know, one more turn kind of thing. With a cool setting, very good aesthetic. It's fun, it runs well, sound design's excellent. Easy recommendation. I'm glad Konstantin told me to check it out, and now I'm telling you to check out, because I've been enjoying it, and I hope you do too, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. This little quick look at Crying Suns. And until next time, have a good one.